The Little Prince, chapters 12, 13, 14, and 15, by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. How are you today, my friends? How are you today? Hope that you're okay, my friends. Oh, deep in my heart, I want to say, I hope that you're okay today. Hi, it's me. Do you hear that out there? Right? There's so many beautiful birds outside. And look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Hello, little Robin. Do you have a name? Really? Is it? I apologize. I didn't realize that. His name's Robin. Of course. Little Robin's name is Robin. Hey, Robin. Are any of your family out there? Of course they are, huh? Yeah. Well, that's very beautiful. And is it any of your family members who are singing? Oh. Well, then I suppose that's a yes, huh? Okay. Well, we're going to continue reading The Little Prince today. Is that okay? It's your favorite book, huh? Really? It's one of my favorite as well. You know, yeah, last week we read that chapter about the fox. It's my favorite too. Yeah. Okay. So, you're telling me you want to perch up above my head? Right by the mermaid? From Una? Okay. We can do that. All right. You can perch right here. That's very exciting. There's a perch for you. Right here. Right above the owl. I know. The owl is very wonderful. So I have a new friend, a new puppet friend, Robin. Well, if you'll remember, in The Little Prince, we are on Earth. And in fact, here, right today, you and I are on Earth. The very same place where the Little Prince is in this book. And the Little Prince is about to meet people from Earth. This is very exciting. And I suppose we should read, huh? Oh, slipcover. Slipcover! I know. That was Humphrey jumping. He's a bunny. Do you remember meeting Humphrey? He's not a puppet. He's an actual Angora bunny. We'll meet him again soon, but he gets a little nervous. That's why when I got loud, he made that noise. Okay. Chapter 12. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the railway switchman. What do you do here? The little prince asked. I sort out travelers in bundles of 1,000, said the switchman. I send off the trains that carry them out, now to the right, now to the left. And a brilliantly lighted express train shook the switchman's cabin as it rushed by with a roar like thunder. They're in a great hurry, said the little prince. What are they looking for? Not even the locomotive engineer knows that, said the switchman. And a second brilliantly lighted express thundered by in the opposite direction. Are they coming back already? Demanded the little prince. These are not the same ones, said the switchman. It is an exchange. Were they not satisfied where they were? Asked the little prince. No one is ever satisfied where he is, said the switchman. And they heard the roaring thunder of a third brilliantly lighted express. Are they pursuing the first travelers? Demanded the little prince. They're pursuing nothing at all. They're asleep in there, or if they're not asleep, they are yawning. Only the children are flattening their noses against the window panes. Only the children know what they are looking for, said the little prince. They devote their time to a rag doll, and it becomes very important to them. And if anyone takes it for them, they cry. They are lucky, said the switchman said. Chapter 13. Good morning, said the little prince. Good morning, said the merchant. This was a merchant who sold pills that had been invented to quench thirst. You need only swallow 1 pill a week, and you will feel no need of anything to drink. Why are you selling those? Asked the little prince. Because they save a tremendous amount of time, said the merchant. Computations have been made by experts. With these pills, you save 53 minutes every week. And what do I do with those 53 minutes? Anything you like. As for me, said the little prince, if I had 53 minutes to spend as I liked, I should walk at my leisure, or leisure, depending on how you say it, toward a spring of fresh water. Would you like to see an illustration of that spring of fresh water? Of course you would. This one's in black and white. I quite love the black and white illustrations. See that spring of fresh water right there. Trees and a wall. Chapter 24. It was now the 8th day since I had my accident in the desert, and I had listened to the story of the merchant as I was drinking the last drop of my water supply. Ah, I said to the little prince, these memories of yours are very charming, but I have not yet succeeded in repairing my plane. I have nothing more to drink, and I, too, shall be very happy if I could walk at my leisure toward a fresh spring of water. My friend the fox, said the little prince to me, my dear little man, this is no longer a matter that has anything to do with the fox. Why not? Because I'm about to die of thirst. He did not follow my reasoning, and he answered me, it is a good thing to have a friend, even if one is about to die. I, for instance, am very glad to have had a fox as a friend. He has no way of guessing the danger, I said to myself. He has never been either hungry or thirsty. A little sunshine is all he needs. But he looked at me steadily and replied to my thought. I am thirsty too. Let's look for a well. I made my gesture of weariness. It is absurd to look for a well at random in the immensity of the desert. But nevertheless, we started walking. When we had trudged along for several hours in silence, darkness fell, and the stars began to come out. Thirst had made me a little feverish, and I looked at them as if I were in a dream. The little prince's last words came reeling back to my memory. Then you are thirsty too? I demanded. But he did not reply to my question. He merely said to me, water may also be good for the heart. I didn't understand his answer, but I said nothing. I knew very well that it was impossible to cross-examine him. He was tired. He sat down, and I sat beside him. And after a little silence, he spoke again. The stars are beautiful, because of a flower that cannot be seen. I replied, yes, that is so. And without saying anything more, I looked across the ridges of sand that were stretched out before us in the moonlight. The desert is beautiful, the little prince added. And that was true. I have always loved the desert. One sits down on a desert sand dune, sees nothing, hears nothing. Yet through the silence, something throbs and gleams. What makes the desert beautiful, said the little prince, is that somewhere it hides a well. I was astonished by a sudden understanding of that mysterious radiation in the sands. When I was a little boy, I lived in an old house, and legend told us that a treasure was buried there. To be sure, no one had ever known how to find it. Perhaps no one had ever even looked for it, but it cast an enchantment over that house. My home was hiding a secret in the depths of its heart. Yes, I said to the little prince, the house, the stars, the desert, what gives them their beauty is something that is invisible. I am glad, he said, that you agree with the fox. Do you remember what the fox said? What is essential is invisible to the eye. How fun. As the little prince dropped off to sleep, I took him in my arms to set out walking once more. I felt deeply moved and stirred. It seemed to me that I was carrying a very fragile treasure. It seemed to me even that there was nothing more fragile on all of the earth. In the moonlight, I looked at his pale forehead, his closed eyes, his locks of hair that trembled in the wind, and I said to myself, what I see here is nothing but his shell. What is most important is invisible. And his lips opened slightly with the suspicion of a half smile. And I said to myself again, what moves me so deeply about this little prince who is sleeping here is his loyalty to a flower, the image of a rose that shines through his whole being like a flame of a lamp, even when he is asleep. And I felt him to be more fragile still. I felt the need of protecting him, as if he himself were a flame that might be extinguished by a little puff of wind. And as I walked on so, I found the well at daybreak. Men, said the little prince, set out on their way in express trains, but they do not know what they are looking for. Then they rush about and get excited and turn around, and he added, it is not worth the trouble. The well that we had come to was not like the wells of the Sahara. The wells of the Sahara are mere holes dug in the sand. This one was like a well in a village, but there was no village here, and I thought I must be dreaming. It is strange, I said to the little prince. Everything is ready for use, the pulley, the bucket, the rope. He laughed, touched the rope, and set the pulley to working, as the pulley moaned like an old weather vane which the wind had long since forgotten. Do you hear? Said the little prince. We have weakened the well. We have wakened the well, and it is singing. I did not want him to tire himself from the rope. Leave it to me, I said. It is too heavy for you. I hoisted the bucket slowly to the edge of the well and set it there, happy, tired as I was, over my achievement. The song of the pulley was still in my ears, and I could see the sunlight shimmer in the still trembling water. I am thirsty for this water, said the little prince. Give me some of it to drink. And I understood what he had been looking for. I raised the bucket to his lips. He drank, his eyes closed. It was as sweet as some special festival treat. This water was indeed a different thing from ordinary nourishment. Its sweetness was born of the walk under the stars, the song of the pulley, the effort of my arms. It was good for the heart, like a present. When I was a little boy, the lights of the Christmas tree, the music of the midnight mass, the tenderness of smiling faces used to make up so the radiance of gifts I received. The men where you live, said the little prince, raise 5,000 roses in the same garden, and they don't find it in what they are looking for. They do not find it, I replied. And yet, what they are looking for could be found in one single rose, or in a little water. Yes, that is true, I said. And the little prince added, but the eyes are blind. One must look with the heart. I had drunk the water. I breathed easily. At sunrise, the sand is the color of honey, and that honey color was making me happy too. What brought me then to this sense of grief? You must keep your promise, said the little prince softly as he sat down beside me once more. What promise? You know, a muzzle for my sheep. I am responsible for this flower. I took my rough drafts of drawing out of my pocket. The little prince looked them over and laughed as he said, Your baobabs, they look a little like cabbages. Oh? I'd been so proud of my baobabs. Your fox, his ears look a little like horns, and they are too long. He laughed again. You're not fair, little prince, I said. I don't know how to draw anything except for boa constrictors from the outside and boa constrictors from the inside. Oh, that will be all right, he said. Children understand. So then I made a pencil sketch of a muzzle, and as I gave it to him, my heart was torn. You have Plans that I don't know about, I said, but he didn't answer me. He said to me instead, you know, my descent to Earth, tomorrow will be its anniversary. Then, after a silence, he went on, I came down here, very near here. And he flushed. And once again, without understanding why, I had a queer sense of sorrow. One question, however, occurred to me. Then it was not by chance that on the morning when I first met you, a week ago, you were strolling along like that, all alone, 1,000 miles from any inhabited region. You were on your way back to the place where you landed? The little prince flushed again, and I added with some hesitancy, perhaps it was because of the anniversary? The little prince flushed once more. He never answered questions, but when one flushes, does that not mean yes? Ah, I said to him, I'm a little frightened, but he interrupted me. Now you must work. You must return to your engine. I will be waiting for you here. Come back tomorrow evening. But I was not reassured. I remembered the fox. One runs the risk of weeping a little if one lets himself be tamed. I believe the narrator is feeling tamed, or a kinship or friendship with the little prince. There's a beautiful yellow and green, beautiful illustration that is titled, He Laughed, Touched the Rope, and Set the Pulley to Working. And it's about that well that the little prince and the narrator so unexpectedly, surprisingly found. Such beautiful, whimsical illustrations. I know, Robin. They're very beautiful. I do love the sound of the robins chirping and the birds singing. And of course, Robin does as well. Oh my goodness. Something must have fallen. It appears that the Little Prince book had not set it up there well. Now it will stay. I love that you're here. And I certainly look forward to seeing you. Robin seems to be tweeting at me. What? Oh, why does my shirt say I love Nearl? I know. It's a good question. I'll tell you, and maybe you're wondering as well, why my shirt says I heart Nearl. Several years ago, I was having some trouble with my house. Yeah, no, building nests, sometimes you have trouble with your house as well. And do robins have handy people who help fix the nest? All robins know how to do that. Well, not all humans do, and I'm not very good at fixing and repairing things. But there was a person named Noel, and then there was a person named Earl, and both of those people helped me, and so one of my other friends made me a shirt that I heart Nearl, and Nearl is it's a portmanteau. No, not like my toe on my foot. A portmanteau is when you take two words and you kind of smush them together to make another word. So if you take Noel and Earl, you get Nearl. And so I like to wear this shirt. Okay. All right, thanks, Robin. We look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.